Hello folks, this is a simple video of starship designs, of how practical and how good looking they are, and my explanations of why I think a particular class of ship has these attributes and the reason why. And we're starting off right here with the Excelsior class. As you can see, we've got the USS Excelsior, and then the Enterprise B, which is a slightly later version. Both of them are 467 metres in length with a deck capacity of 32 decks. Both of them armed with Type 8 phaser banks and 3 torpedo launchers. Both of them also have the capacity of travelling over Warp 9 quite easily. Originally built, especially with the earlier one, it was built to have transwarp drive, which was meant to make normal warp speed obsolete, but unfortunately didn't achieve it and broke down. But rather than just scrapping the idea, which a lot of Excelsior critics would want, thinking that the Enterprise is the most fantastic ship in the fleet, yeah, you should get everything, the Excelsior class ships should be forgotten. However, that's not the case, and instead they remained in service right up towards the 2300s. Well, they lasted right up over 90 odd years. Not only that, they were also used in campaigns as well, against like the Klingons, Border Patrol against the Romulans, up against the Borg Menace, and also the Dominion War. And we'll have a much more closer look with the older one. As you can see with the older one, it looks very streamlined, very elegant. In many ways, I think the Excelsiors are much better designed than the later Galaxy class ships, because it's designed as a starship, you know, an actual working practical ship. Unlike the Galaxy class ship, which I think looks like a cobra snake in space with a interior design of a cruise ship with cannons. But anyway, as you can see with the Excelsior, it's a very simple, sleek design, very streamlined, but in comparison, she's got two large impulse engines, and her hull is just a simple, like, round shaped hull in the engineering section. Then we'll move over towards the Enterprise B, because she has some things slightly different. As you can see, she's got four impulse engines, and she also has her hull, the engineering section, that's more like a Catalina's hull, which is a World War II American seaplane used for attacking U-boats. So they've used the same design of that and placed it on her. The Enterprise B also had a bit of a slightly difficult start, as in it tried to, as a publicity stunt, was meant to just do a simple round trip and then that was it. Then got emergency call from an alien race that was basically wiped out by the Borg. They went over, tried to rescue them. They rescued one ship, but unfortunately she got damaged in the process, and it's like Nexus, when there's a massive hole there. But again, rather than just scrapping the idea, they basically kept the Enterprise B running for a couple of years before getting replaced by the Ambassador class ship Enterprise C. But as you can see, it's a very simple, elegant design. Very good against Klingon ships, Romulan vessels, and in large fleet engagements against the Dominion and the Jim-Hadar ships. Then we're moving slightly on to the slightly bigger, the Battlestars. And as you can see, we've got Galactica, the most famous Battlestar, and probably one of the most famous sci-fi ships in the entire sci-fi universe. And then next to her, we've got the slightly more modern Pegasus. Both of them are estimated to be over 1,000 meters in length. Both of them were used in the defense of the Colonial Fleet to protect the colonial of man. And originally it was Galactica that was the only survivor, the sole survivor, but then later on Commander Adama finds out actually there was another one being survived. Now let's go to the Galactica first, because the Galactica, as you can see, is a much older design, armed with multiple cannons on the top, as you can see, and bottom as well. You can probably see them, I don't, hang on, just at the front there. Armed with projectile weapons of multiple cannons. She's basically designed, I think, like a space porcupine, so it's like a constant 360-degree defense. Also, if we move in to the hangar bays, she can launch multiple Vipers along here on both of these two pods, which I think is very clever because they shoot out from these little holes and then they fly in through the gaps, as you can see here. So it's a very simple design if you want a rapid fighter launch. But also, if one of the pods is damaged, you only lose half the capacity, not all. Which, unlike the Star Wars Victory class destroyers, if you take out the hangar bay, that's literally all of it gone. As you can see, the Galactica has a very unusual way of jumping into FTL. As the arms on either side, they retract the pods in to make them more streamlined to jump into hyperspace. But again, it's a very beautiful design. A very simple design as well, because it's basically like a giant space porcupine with guns literally all over the place, you know, top, bottom, left and right. Such an elegant design as well. Then we move over to the slightly bigger, the Pegasus, which is a slightly different class. I think they're known as Mercury classes. As you can see, she's much bigger. But what's even more unusual is the pods. She's got double-decker pods, as you can see, one at the top, one at the bottom. That is to increase her fighter capacity even more. So she carries double the amount. Unlike the Galactica, her electronics systems is more modern. But what's even more unusual is because she has slightly more modern electronics, her crew capacity can be slightly less. As you can see, she can launch rapid Vipers out from the sides. Again, blistering with guns. As you can zoom in. Again, a very beautiful, elegant design, basically like a space porcupine, which most colonial ships are, in my opinion. She basically is way over the 1,000 metre mark at probably 1.8. As you can see, she's got multiple massive engines at the back. But what's even more clever about her is she does not need to retract her pods to jump into FTL. Instead, she can just jump. I generally think this is a very elegant, beautiful design because, again, it's a space porcupine, it's elegant, it's got guns all around, so it's very practical. Very good against missiles, very good against alpha fighters, very good against kamikaze raids, and so on. But unfortunately, unlike the Galactica, Pegasus does get destroyed, which I think is a huge waste. Especially if you've seen the episode of how she gets destroyed, it's terrible, complete waste. And also, to be honest with you, she's much more newer and could have been more useful. But I like both of these in particular, but same as the Excelsiors, for the same reason of practicality and also looks. But what do you think? Can you come up with any other suggestions? What other ships do you think are just as good? Please let me know in the comments below. Also, just a quick question. What if they meet each other for the very first time? How would you go about it? A lot of people would say that, oh, the Battlestars would just take on the Excelsiors and just blow the crap out of them, which is possible. But for my mind, rather than just constantly fighting each other, what if they just, I see two factions just meeting each other for the first time and go, hello, we're your brothers of man, very nice to meet you. That's just my view. But again, what's your comments and what do you like? Do you like any of the Excelsiors? Do you like the Battlestars? Please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for your time. Anyway, always take care and all the best.